Welcome to Craig's Gun Channel. In this video, I'm going to cover some additional modifications I've made to my Kel-Tec CP33. I've covered the history and field strip procedures in prior videos, so I'm not going to cover that in today's video. Instead, I'm going to go over some final modifications that I've made. This gun is a lot of fun out of the box. It has excellent fiber optic sights and is very accurate. However, after shooting it a bit, the urge to modify it overtook me, and I've been working to decide what mods I wanted to make. I've decided I wanted to add a brace, a compensator, and a red dot. Being a 22, it does not really need a brace. However, as this is just a plinker, I wanted to have some fun with it, and I wanted one. Doing some quick research, I found a couple of options out there, and decided I wanted to keep it as modular as possible. To that end, I selected the RevArms brace adapter. This aluminum adapter slides onto the rear of the pistol and uses the factory rear screw locations. This means that there's no permanent alterations to the gun, a feature that I like. Once added, you're able to use any brace that uses a Picatinny type attachment. After reviewing the brace options available, I went with the SB Tactical 1913 hinge folding brace. I like the minimalist look of it, and the folding feature is nice as well. It attaches very simply and securely to the Picatinny rail and can be easily removed if needed. Next, I decided to add a TacFire muzzle brake. Being a 22, it's not really needed. However, I like the look of it. This is a linear compensator which directs the sound concussion straight out from the shooter and is intended to be a quieter option than other traditional brakes. The final change was to add a red dot reflex style sight. I had originally decided on a tube style red dot. I had an Illusion by Laser Aim, and it was an older one that I just had on hand. However, due to its low axis height, it was not as conducive to use with the brace. Also, based on some earlier shooting with it, I believe it may be damaged, as I was getting some point of impact drift. I went with another budget option, a cheap reflex red dot by Vector Optics. While I would not recommend its use on anything really serious, for a 22 rimfire plinker, it should be just fine. Let's take a look at how it all goes together. And of course, before working on any firearm, you want to make sure it is free and clear of any ammunition. So we'll go ahead and lock the bolt back, and as we can see, the chamber area is clear, and the magazine is also clear. So we'll go ahead and go over quickly installing the modifications that I made on the CP33. First, we have the linear compensator. The intent of a linear compensator is to basically direct the blast and sound wave forward. It's supposed to make it quieter for bystanders and even for the shooter slightly by directing the noise down or out. However, in the case of a 22 long rifle, I'm putting this on mostly for appearance. It doesn't really need it for any kind of recoil compensation or really noise. So, and also, since there's not a lot of energy that's being used, I'm just going to actually just kind of hand tighten it down. That way I can remove it to clean it easily to make sure it doesn't get fouled up too bad. There's not enough energy to really speak of in here. Just check to make sure the tension is okay when I go to shoot it, and that way I can remove it easier. If you were to tighten it, when you tighten it down with the crush washer, you could tighten it down till it's snug, and then basically a quarter turn should be good to put it in, then turn it appropriately to clock it. With the linear compensator, there's not really any direct clocking that's required. It's just if you want the flat surfaces where you would go to tighten it down if you want it to be lined up in any certain orientation. The red dot I've already replaced. Prior to using this one, I was using the Illusion by Laser Aim, the old one that I had just laying around. I don't believe this one actually is fully functional anymore. The dot seems to drift, so that's one reason I wanted to go ahead and switch it. The other reason, however, has to do with after putting the brace on, as far as being able to get a good sight alignment. The Laser Aim one, it sits lower, and lower is usually better. However, it was difficult to get a good sight alignment, so I was either going to need to use a riser or just get one that has a higher optical window to begin with. So I went ahead and went with this one. This is just a cheap budget one I'd picked up somewhere. It's like one of the $25 to $35 things, Vector Optics. In all honesty, this thing has held zero for me very well, and it works very well. It's just on a 22 long rifle here, so not a lot of recoil to contend with, so not too concerned about it. This is just a plinker for me, so no serious work is going to be done with it, so this works just fine. Now, as far as the Rev Arms, the Picatinny adapter for putting the brace on, the way this works, this is all machined. It has grooves that are machined on the inside, and they go over the lugs on the back, and then the screws align with the existing screws on the back of the firearm. So we'd simply remove those screws on both sides, slide the adapter in place, and then use the supplied longer screws to replace the short ones. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. And there's no need to disassemble the firearm to do this. And then this, as you can see, just line it up and it slides into place just like that. Put the supplied longer screws in. And just need to snug them down a little bit. And then that's put in place. Now the 1913 Picatinny rail brace. It basically just has one little Allen screw. You just loosen that. And then this part just comes off. You go ahead and align it in the orientation that you want. And put the other piece on. And then just tighten the screw down. There again, just needs to be snug. This is not a stock, it is just a brace. It's to help provide support. It's not intended, nor will it act as a full stock. I mean, there's not enough substance there, and that's not its intent. The intent of it is just to be able to add additional points of contact to be able to brace the pistol. So that's it. We'll go ahead and take it to the range and see how it does. And today at the range, we got the CP33. Going to take some more shots. Have a budget little reflex sight on it, and put a linear compensator on it, and of course now we have the SB Tactical 1913 Picatinny rail brace along with the Rev Arms Picatinny rail adapter for the CP33. Go ahead and take some shots and see how it does. Nope. Looks like the rounds have gotten stuck down in the magazine a bit. Not sure what might have caused that. It's accidentally easy to shoot this gun good with this type of a setup. This is a lot of fun. 33 rounds, standard grip magazine. Hopefully they'll come out with those 50 round ones soon, because you know what's better than 33? Well, 50. But this is just it's a blast to shoot. Everything Kel-Tec is generally hard to acquire initially after release, and the CP33 has not been an exception. They're showing up in local gun stores, however, as is usually the case, they sell out shortly after arrival, so it still might take some luck to get one. Also, as it's a new gun and sought after, there won't be any bargains on it. Expect to pay suggested retail, or maybe even slightly above. Depending on your location, it may be necessary to find one online at a retailer that may not be local to you, and pay to have it shipped to your local FFL. Of course, that will add to the cost with shipping and transfer fees. However, it may be the quickest way to obtain one, and in my opinion, it would be worth it as it's a great little range gun. I hope that this video has been of value to you, and if you liked it, please hit the like button. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe and notify buttons so that you don't miss anything. And as always, until next time, stay safe.